Hello and welcome to today's topic, which is quite interesting. It deals with an important aspect of advertising, the all-important advertising agency. The subject expert today is Simrat Gulati, an advertising professional who has been in this field for nearly 2 decades. I am Sakshi Mandwal. This is the organization that is pivotal in the whole business of advertising. Its setup, role and functions will explain to us how things happen in the ad world. Instead of just looking at a formal structure of the advertising agency, let's do it a little differently. Let us instead follow the story of how an ad gets created. We will follow the process and see what the sequence of events is and what happens where in the process of creating an ad and going about the various jobs it does. The idea for making an ad comes from the person who wants to advertise.
I hope you didn't have any problems looking for our office.
No, not at all, ma'am.
Any producer or maker of a product or brand wants to communicate with the people about his goods. This person wants to tell others but does not know how to do it. So he calls in an ad agency to give them the work of making the ad. There is a meeting with the ad agency and this is held between the client and the agency representative. The client here is the person who wants to advertise or a person from the company that wants to advertise. Brand managers, marketing managers, communication managers, any of these roles in a company would be handling this task.
Let me just work out something. Give it a nice, funky, trendy look because everybody wants to feel young, and give it to you. It's definitely very interesting for us.
From the advertising agency side, the account executive, who is also known as AE, or the client servicing executive, also known as CSE, or account planner, would be the one handling it. This meeting is called a client meeting, and the instructions and ideas that are passed on to the agency is in the form of a client brief.
We have to do something new and it has to be positioned in a different platform. It should not be looking as the same monotonous thing. Otherwise, how will you create a positioning for that brand? So that's how it starts. And then if there is a need to shoot the product, obviously if it is, we will have to do the shoot and then work on the creative accordingly.
This brief is brought into the agency and work gets started. The first step is to tell all the others in the agency what is the task. Also, the ideas and thoughts have to be generated. To do this, all the departments of an agency meet for a discussion and an ideating session. This is called a brainstorming session. All the craziest and wildest of thoughts are discussed and evaluated. What to say in the ad, what to do, who to use as a model, where to give the ad, and so on. The departments that attend this meeting are account planning and servicing marketing and research, events and PR, creative and production media administration. Everybody participates and contributes to the idea generation process. Once the decisions are taken, the meeting concludes and each person is assigned his task. Now starts the process of ad making. The accounts department writes a set of instructions about the ad to be made. This is called the creative brief. This includes what is to be said, what is the purpose of making the ad, what is to be achieved, how it is to be achieved, where is the ad to be given and to which media. This brief is given to all the departments who do their respective work. The account and planning department strategizes for the brand. This function is to do with thinking about the product or brand to be advertised. All plans, targets and objectives relating to it are handled by the department. An important function that they handle is the budgeting and outlay planning for the brand's communication. Also, these are the set of people who interact with the client and are the link between the client and the professionals in the agency. They think and plan and then communicate it to the client, take the approval and then execute the job. Their big function is to get things done inside and outside the agency. The creative will create the ad. This department consists of the art directors and visualizers and the creative director and the copywriters who together plan the ad out. Copywriters do all the writing and ideating part of the ad.
One of our fashion clients is launching a black and white collection, especially for the monsoons. So what the brief that has come to us from the client is very, very specific, that when it comes to loungewear and western wear and basically formal wear, we are launching a collection which is both for men and women, and they are focusing on going away from the colorful gamut of clothing and moving towards something which is more formal. Now what we have planned in terms of a concept is that we want to go beyond fashion and delve into the human aspects of black and white. So what we have over here is a model who's got a half black, half white face painted. The entire idea being that we want to go beyond just fashion and delve into the black and white angle of life.
Visualizers give form to the ad in terms of layout, picture, graphics and display. A rough layout would be prepared for a print ad or hoarding. For a TVC, the storyboard or concept would be prepared. And if it is radio ad, the rough recording would be done or a script prepared. They would also decide on the selection of models, colors and packaging, even brand names and jingles. The media department plans the choice of media for the ad, and it consists of the media planners and media operations department. The media planners would select the appropriate media depending on the costs, visibility and reach, and make a media plan within the budget allocated. The media operators are responsible for getting the ad inserted into the right slots and places in the media. So they scout around for the best rates, offers and discounts, book space or time, and ensure the ad does finally appear where it is desired. The marketing and research department will carry out any specific task related to the brand in terms of research or feedback. Events and PR will handle the job if any special event or launch is required and plan for it. If a new flavor of soft drink is to be launched, the whole scheme of where to show it, where to distribute samples, and how to get the people to taste it and try it would be planned here. Launch parties, press conferences, road shows, demonstrations and displays are the kind of events arranged by them. Now what happens next is that all the work planning and ideas of the various departments have to be consolidated and put together as a complete unit. This is what the AE or the CSE does. He or she assembles the various parts to make up the advertising plan and present it to the client. This is usually done as a formal presentation with representatives of both the client and the agency attending this session. If the client likes the work, then he gives his approval and the execution of ideas can begin. At times, certain changes are required, so these are done and the final OK of the client is obtained. Only after obtaining the written approval of the client is the actual work started. Till then, only rough layouts or concepts and proposals are made. Once the ad and the plans are approved, there is excitement in the agency. Firstly, getting the approval means the idea have been accepted, so it's an achievement of sorts. Secondly, now work has to get started on the final form of the ads, which means there is a lot of activity starting. This is when the ad is set to come into production. The final finished product just the way we see it in the newspaper or TV or on radio, is what is to be produced. A whole new set of professionals come into the process now. If it is a print ad, then photographs, visuals, cartoons, illustrations would be done by specialists. These are usually freelancers who are hired on a job or task basis. Models need to be hired for both the print and the TV ads. This is done by the model coordinator, who keeps a record of all kinds and age groups of models, including celebrities. Finishing artists and graphic artists will do the final work on the master layout. If it is a TV or radio ad, then the shooting or recording has to be arranged and the finished edited product created. If it's a hoarding or poster, then printing work is to be executed. All these functions are performed by the production department, which is under a production manager. Again, it's the duty of the AE or CSE to coordinate between all the various departments and see that work gets done. The final ad created is given to the media operations to get it inserted into the various media as per the media plan and to follow up on it. That's the story of the ad. From it we see that an ad agency responsible for the creation, making and insertion of the ad and the plan consists of the following departments. One set of people that we did not mention were the administration. These are the accountants, clerks, peons and the like, who are the backbone of any office and help in the functioning of the organization and will be the same in their role in any institution. What we have just seen is what is called a full service agency. All the various aspects and function of an agency are available under the same roof or within the same setup. It is an efficient way of functioning, and from the client's point of view, it is very convenient and comfortable. For various economical, legal and practical reasons, this structure of the agency has changed in the past decade or so. Each department, like media, creative or PR, have become independent units or individual companies, providing only specialized services and not the complete package. These are what are called a la carte agencies. So we have the media houses like Starcom or Carrot PR and even firms like Perfect Relations or Genesis. Research ones like Marg and IMRB, design studios and graphic designers, all giving the best inputs in their own areas of operation. Of course, all of them will have the client servicing department for executing the work and coordinating with the client. Another concept you need to be familiar with is the concept of an in-house agency. In the early days of marketing and advertising, many big business houses and firms had their own ad agency within their own setup. This would handle the work of only their brands and products and be a part of the functioning of the parent organization. This was done to reduce costs and increase efficiency and performance. Long-term experience showed that such agencies would run out of creativity and new ideas. The people working were getting into a monotony and routine. Also, there were times when there was not enough work to keep the staff gainfully employed. This system is not as efficient as it was thought out to be. So these agencies branched off and became independent of the parent company. This allowed the agency to get other work and variety in its functioning, thus keeping creativity alive and adding volumes to its business. The parent company also could go to other talent and ideas and also get better quality of work from this agency itself. So the concept of an in-house agency is not so popular anymore. In the Indian context, Mudra Communications started off as an in-house advertising branch of Reliance. Now, it is an independent ad agency. Garden Verily was a company that had its own in-house agency for many years. This is the whole tale of the structure of an advertising agency, where people from diverse backgrounds and professions meet and come together to work on a common task, creating some interesting ads. That is all for today. Thank you and see you soon again. Goodbye.